In this video, I'll go over what Web 3.0 is and how it is going to change the world in the next few years. But before I can talk about what Web 3.0 is, I need to tell you about Web 1.0 and Web 2.0. Web 1.0 was basically the first version of the internet. It was the ability for people just like you to read information on the web. It was also known as the information economy. And it was dominated by companies like Netscape and AOL. You may be old enough to remember them. Most of the users of the internet at this stage of the web were consumers of content. The main feature of Web 1.0 was consuming and reading content. Most users didn't have the ability to create, edit, or share. Web 2.0 was the next step in the evolution of the internet. And it was when users were able to create and share information to others. This was the first time users were able to produce and share their own content easily through the internet. At this stage, the web was dominated by companies that made it easy for people to create and share content with others. This includes companies like Facebook, Google, and other social media websites, which I'm sure you're very familiar with today. Finally, right now, we are in the beginning of the next evolution of the web, and it's being built right now as we speak. It is called Web 3.0. Web 3.0's focus is on openness, trustless, and permissionless data exchange and communication. Open means it's open source, and that has transparent development in full view. Trustless means it allows for peer-to-peer interaction without a trusted third party, like a person, government, central bank, or other organization. And permissionless means anyone can participate without authorization or requirement from a government body. Now, Web 3.0 is also referred to as the token economy, created by decentralized autonomous organizations, also known as DAOs, which will be the future of how some organizations are governed. The main thing about Web 3.0 is it gives the users the ability to read, create, and own their own internet assets and information without relying on any third party or centralized authority. Currently, when you access sites like Google, you are accessing a walled garden that is only owned by Google. They own the content, they own and deliver it to you, and they control what they want you to see. The network, in a way, is owned by Google. Similarly, Web 2.0 sites like Facebook allow users to create content. However, the underlying network is, and still always will be, owned by Facebook. The goal of Web 3.0 is to move away from the server-based centralized giants that have a monopoly in the market and move towards a decentralized web where the users own the underlying protocols and directly benefit from this in many ways, including financially. The technology that underpins Web 3.0 is blockchain, smart contracts, decentralized finance, NFTs, and more. So how is Web 3.0 going to change the world? Well, currently most of your data is owned by big corporations like Google and Facebook. This means they control your private data, they control your information, and because of that, the tech giants have a lot of power. They effectively sell this information to buyers who can leverage it to do all sorts of things, most commonly known to advertise and market new products and services to you. It's also very difficult to stop using their services because they are so integral to our everyday life now. But with Web 3.0, it's all going to change. Web 3.0 is empowering the cryptocurrency and blockchain ecosystem and putting power and control back into the hands of the individual. Even now in the infancy stage, platforms like Uniswap give users the power to become their own bank, while Ocean Protocol allows users to sell their data to who they choose, not to the highest bidder on Facebook. Uniswap is an exchange that's completely decentralized, meaning it isn't owned and operated by one entity, and makes use of a new type of trading model called an automated liquidity protocol. Fundamentally though, Web 3.0 is a whole shift in the way we think about the future of technology and the internet. Instead of a centralized system that is owned only by a few, with Web 3.0, the ownership of the underlying technology is now shifted towards the users. This means that when you own underlying layer 1 tokens like Ethereum, Cardano, or Bitcoin,
You are participating in a global network of decentralization of ownership of the infrastructure of the new Web 3.0 internet. So an easy way to understand this, and an example, is to imagine if you and others own the power lines around your city, and then you also have voting rights and a say in when new power lines are connected. This ability to vote and govern how a network evolves is called governance. Going back to the power lines analogy, imagine being able to vote and submit proposals on new power sources for your power network, and then when they are executed, you actually get a financial benefit. That is the power of Web 3.0, putting the ownership and the control back into the hands of the people. The users of the network and the owners of the network get to decide how the network evolves and reap the benefits of that instead of a centralized authority. This also means that you, as the owner in the network, can benefit financially as the network continues to grow and appreciate in value. This is a paradigm shift never before seen in technology, economics, or investing.
Currently, most of Web 3.0 is being built on Ethereum, which you now know is a blockchain technology. The number of active developers is increasing by over 300 developers per month and is continuing to expand. The number of developers is important because it is the developers who build the applications that will attract new users and customers, and thus more developers. It becomes a positive feedback loop. This is new territory, and the technologies underlying the new Web 3.0 internet is stripping the power from centralized companies and putting it back into the hands of the people. It is going to be fascinating to see the thousands of use cases that this new technology is going to empower for the everyday individual and collective groups around the globe.